Salute to y'all, my brothers. I appreciate y'all being in the building, man. I appreciate everybody being in the joint. The law of the wise is a fountain of life to depart from the snares of death. And that is our goal in this life, as men, to depart from the snares of death, to depart from the ways of the wicked, to depart from the traps of lust, to stay out of the way with evil men, to avoid the energy of the Jezebel. That is our goal. That is our mission in this life. And that is what we will discuss today. Now, there's one thing that we must understand. See, we're going to jump out of Proverbs. Again, that's Proverbs 13. Proverbs 13 and 14, rather. The law of the wise is a fountain of life to depart from the snares of death. The laws. The law. See, this is Proverbs. This is wisdom. But the law is further on back in Deuteronomy. So we're going to go to the law of the wise. And there's one law in particular that we're going to focus on. There is one law in particular that we're going to focus on. We're going to go to Deuteronomy 6 and 5. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and do 4 for proper context. Let's go to school. Y'all bear with me, man. I got to tighten my chair. It's squeaking like a fool. So here's what I want you men to understand. The reality of the scenario is this. There is one law above them all. And it is not love thy neighbor as thyself. It is not the golden rule, do unto others as you will have them do unto you. That's not the law that matters the most. AJ, what's good, brother? The law that matters the most is right here. Deuteronomy 6. Y'all see I got the word out. Deuteronomy 6, verse 5. Well, let's start at verse 4. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. Now I want y'all to ask me, I want y'all to answer something. If I got $100 in my pocket, somebody answer in the chat, and I give you all my money, how much money I got left? If I got $100 in my pocket, and I give you all my money, how much money do I have left, brothers? Financial Isms Live. Salute, brother. Appreciate the $50 sponsorship of the show. All praise to the Most High. Thank you for giving a brother an outlet from this wicked world. Salute to you, bro. I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate it. Again, thanks for the sponsorship of the show. Financial Isms Live. GC. If I give you all my money, I ain't got nothing left. All my money is gone. So I ain't got no money to give nobody else. I ain't got no money left. If I give you all of it and somebody wants some money from me, they got to come get it from you. They got to wait until I get some more money. But here's the thing. I gave you all my money. So I ain't got no money left. David with a Y, appreciate the 5 bones, brother. Appreciate the 5 bones. Praise the Most High always, all day, brother. All praises do the job. I still got that little blur thing going on, bro. I have no idea why I got this little blur thing going on, man. It is serious. Let's see if I can change, man, to get some light going on me right now. Kill that blur, man. That blur is serious. Like, there's a blur going on around this joint, man. I can't seem to light my joint up well enough. I'm gonna have to do some research, man, because I ain't lighting my joint well enough. I'm not lighting my joint well enough. GC, appreciate the 10 bones, brother. Family, real talk, bro. Salute to you. I appreciate you being in the joint. So if the Lord thy God says, love me with all your heart, how much heart you got left to give people? How much love do you have left to give a woman? How much space in your heart do you have left? If you love the Lord with all your heart, you ain't got no more love and space in your heart to give nobody else. So y'all wonder why I say things like, I give all my love to the Lord and let him disperse it to whoever he sees fit to fill it. So if you in my life and you don't feel no love for me, it ain't got nothing to do with me. God don't want to share none with you because I give it all to him. That's how you stay focused on your path. That's how you stay focused on living a life that's pleasing to God. You focus on the love you have for God. You love him with all your heart. You ain't got to worry about loving nobody else. You ain't got to worry about no heartbreak if you love the Lord with all your heart. You ain't got to worry about being all hurt up because you got to go to family court and the woman about to leave. She got the shirt and all that. You ain't got to worry about none of that. If you give your heart to life, it don't bother you. It's just something you do. You just go ahead, pay whatever you got to pay, and move on with your life. The problem with the majority of these men, why they so angry, why they so upset, why they so hurt, why they so sad, it's because they forget this one thing. Love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy might. That means everything you got. You got to give it up to God. Everything you got. Your mission. If you're on a mission in life and it ain't got nothing to do with what God wants you to be doing, you ain't on no mission. You out here fishing and wishing. On a circular expedition. You just going in circles. You got me going in circles. That's all you're doing. Jeremiah 17:5. Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man and maketh his flesh his arm. You know what that means? You lean on me when you're not strong. Lean on somebody. Don't make flesh your arm. And whose heart departed from the Lord? Whose heart? Whose heart? Not mine. Whose heart departed from the Lord? See, you can't deal with the Lord like you deal with people. You can't just deal with him on a business level. You got to deal with him on an interpersonal level. You got to love the Lord with all thine heart, all thy soul, and all thy might. That's the law of the wise, that you must make the prize that's always before your eyes. Kazan Clan, salute, brother. Appreciate the 5 bone, man. Food for the soul, Hamano. Thanks. Salute to you, bro. Salute. The reality of the scenario is this, man. When you look at the biblical text, you see men throughout who have lived a life that was dedicated to God. And you see what God did to him. You see how God delivered him. You see what God put him. You saw what God does for you when you give everything you have to him. When you give him everything you got, he'll give you everything you want. I say again, when you give him everything you got, he'll give you everything you want. And you ain't got to go out there and kill yourself to get it. Write this on your heart, homies. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy might. You leave no stone unturned. You dedicate yourself to living a life that's pleasing to God, man. You dedicate yourself to honoring the Most High, man. Anybody or anything in your life that does anything to come between you and that has to go. And the only way you could do that is if you already love the Lord with all thine heart. Because if you give a person, any person, just this much of your heart, they can break this much of it. You attach a person to your heart. The only reason, man, God tells us that to protect us from the ways of humans. God ain't gonna do nothing foul to you. You put your trust in God, he ain't going to cut you back. He ain't going to stab you in the back. He ain't going to turn on you. He ain't going to do that crooked to you. He ain't going to set you up to get robbed by nobody. He ain't going to set you up to get done harm by nobody. He ain't going to do no harm to you. He ain't going to lie to you. He ain't going to mislead you. He ain't going to mistreat you. He ain't going to do none of that to you. So why would you give in your heart to anybody else like a fool? We talk about trust. What human you know ain't going to change no matter what? What human you know ain't going to never put themselves first? What human you know ain't going to never rely on greed or need or any of those things? None. So how can you trust a human? If you trust is a heart thing. So if you love God, if you love the Lord with all thine heart, then guess what you do? All your trust go to him too. All your love go to him. All your honor go to him. Are you honoring God when you bow down to a woman and say, will you marry me? No, you're honoring that woman. Are you honoring God when you let a group of men that's a part of the organization haze you and beat you and disrespect you so you can be a part of the organization? No. You're honoring those men. Jeremiah 17:7. Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord and whose hope the Lord is. See, we're talking about hope. Whose hope the Lord is. What else can you believe gonna come through for you besides God, man? What else can you show enough believe gonna come through for you besides God? How many times have you relied on somebody in your life, man, they stab you in the back? How many times have you depended on someone in your life and you realized that they were not dependable at all? How many times have you trusted someone in your life and you realized that they were absolutely the opposite of trustworthy? How many times have you sacrificed something in your life for somebody who wouldn't dare sacrifice anything for you? How many times have you dedicated your time, dedicated your energy, dedicated your focus to someone and all that person thought about was themselves? How many times have you given and given and given and never received anything in return from a person? Now, how many times have you done those things for God? How many times have you dedicated yourself to God and he ain't never let you know that he appreciated and loved you for it? How many times have you put yourself on Front Street in defense of your right to honor God? And God said, well, you messed up now because ain't no need for you to honor me. I can't do nothing for you. It ain't never happened to you. So as a man, why you going to worry about anything else? How you think I go about my way, man? And listen, I go and listen to channels. Guys create whole channels about me and my alter ego, Dr. BOA. Whole channels dedicated. And I listen to it. And I don't respond. Why? Because I don't care what they say. Because that ain't God talking through them. See, if you diss me, God ain't talking through you. I ain't worrying about nobody's words that God ain't talking through. If God ain't talking through you, why are you around me? Why are you talking to me? Why are you bothering me? The great thing about love is if you don't love somebody, you can't hate them either. The cruelty of slavery in America and all those things, they weren't based on hate. They were based on fear. That's another story. We won't even talk about that one today. Chief Stand Still, salute my brother. Appreciate the dime. 100. Salute to you, bro. So this is how you keep yourself from getting caught up like Adam got caught up. See, if Adam had loved the Lord with all his heart, he wouldn't have got caught up and followed the broad away from God. He would have said, woman, what have you done? You got to go. But he didn't. He didn't love the Lord with all his heart. He gave the woman some of it. And you see what that cost him. When Solomon had one wife, he was okay. When he multiplied wives unto himself, which God already said a king shouldn't do, he started giving them women his heart. Your heart belongs to God, brothers. You got to give it to him. Because if not, you're going to find yourself in these situations that men cry about and whine about and sometimes do more than that about throughout their lives, man. Many men have taken themselves away from this world. Many men are contemplating taking themselves away from this world. And many men have started to live lives that they knew eventually, sooner than later, would take them away from this world. Why? Because they gave their heart to someone other than God, man. You can only give your heart to God. Nobody else deserves even a little bit of it, brothers. No one does. Genesis 2:18. And the Lord God said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him an help meet, which is a helper fit for him. It didn't say, I will make him somebody to love. It didn't say, I will make him somebody to put before me. I will make him somebody to put before himself. I will make him somebody to pedestalize. I will make him somebody to validate. He said, I will make him somebody to help him. To help him. That's all. To help him. It is not good that man should be alone. He didn't say it's not good that man should be alone. I will make him a companion. I will make him a partner. He said, I will make him a helpmeet, a helper fit for him. And it said nothing about love. Even when it said, and therefore a man shall leave his mother and father and cleave unto his wife, and they shall become one flesh, it still didn't say nothing about no loving the broad. They shall become one flesh means that she shall become a mini-me of him, not the other way around. But if you give God all your love, you ain't got to worry about it. See, let me tell y'all something right now, man. You can't be in love and be a logically spiritual or spiritually logical man. When you're in love, your logic goes that way, your spirit man goes that way. When you're in love, you become feminine. Because whoever you give your heart to, that is what you become. You give your heart to God, you become a godly man. Because God instructs you. He guides you. He gives you what you need. You give God your heart for safekeeping. So these crooked humans out here won't have access to it. That's the reason for that. Wartorn Warhead, welcome to the kingdom, bro. Chosen One Music, salute, man. Appreciate the 5 bones, brother. I appreciate it. Yo, Cutthroat, appreciate the $50 sponsorship of the show, brother. Co-sponsorship. Salute to you, brother. I really appreciate that. See, when you're in love, you have given a woman your heart. And when you give a woman your heart, all you can function in is an emotion, because the person who owns your heart is an emotional being. God is a spiritual being. He is the utmost spiritual being. A woman is an emotional being. She is the utmost emotional being. So when you give a woman your heart, all you can function in is love, anger, sadness, and happiness. You Al Green, love and happiness. You Frankie Beverly Mays, joy and pain. But when you give your life to God, you don't function in those emotions. Your life functions in evil and righteousness, good and evil, righteous and unrighteous, wicked and righteous. That's how your life goes. That's the way you need to view this world, because we are in a world of wickedness. We are not in a world of love. This is not a world of love. If Lot had given his heart to his wife, when his wife turned around and looked back at the burning Sodom and Gomorrah turned into a pillar of salt, you know what Lot would have did? Oh, Kevin! Oh, wait a minute, that was Django. He would have turned around and hollered out for his wife. Turned around, looked back for his wife, turned into a pillar of salt too. But he would focus on loving the Lord, man. His heart was with God. So when God said, go and don't look back, he said, I ain't looking back. He told his daughters, please don't look back, because if you look back, I ain't coming back for you, because I don't need all that salt anyway. I'm a brother. I don't need that salt. Can't handle that salt. Mess around her hypertension with all that salt. But his wife turned back around and became a big pile of diabetes as a result of hypertension from all that salt. Abraham When Abraham was going through the lands, he went into a kingdom and told that man, this is my sister. This was his old lady. He said, this is my sister. You can have it if you want to. The man took his old lady in there for all intents and purposes. Abraham didn't know that man wasn't going to sleep with his wife, but he didn't care because God had his heart. So he wasn't about to do nothing to that man. He wasn't about to risk his life for that broad. He was trying to get to where God wanted him to go, and the woman to help me. However, she got to help him. She got to help him. And so she was his sister. If God had stepped in and intervened, came to that man and said, what you doing? You about to do real damage to yourself. He would have slept with Sarah, man. And you know what Abraham would have did? Took her right on with it. He said, you have done well. Let's keep moving on. I'm on a mission. Are you going with me? That's how you function when you love the Lord thy God with all of your heart. You ain't got no time to let your feelings for nobody trap you in a box in this life, man. You ain't got no time for it. For a long time, I used to guilt trip myself because I didn't love nobody in my life enough to cross these lines. And then I realized that everything I did with people in my life was responsibility. I pay my mom bills out just because out of responsibility. It's something I want to do. You understand what I'm saying? Just because I can. I take care of my seed because that's my responsibility. You know, your seed try to pull on your heartstrings. I ain't got none. I ain't got none for you to pull on. When I say it's my way or no way, it's fine because my way is the way that God wants me to be performing in this world. It can't be the broad way. It's got to be my way. If she can't do it my way, she don't want to do it God's way. And I'm finna beat her. I'm finna make her a field goal. Good. Finna kick her right out of my life. Yo, Cutthroat. Appreciate the dub. Hey, bro, listen to you damn near every day. I'm 32. Even my 8-year-old likes you. He told me we are superior to women after he heard you. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. That's the generation that need the information, man. Salute to you, bro. John, appreciate the firebone. Blessing to you all. Please prepare a playlist on YouTube so I can listen to all this amazing content while I'm at the gym. I need to do that, brother. I'm glad you mentioned that. I don't have a playlist on this channel at all. My playlist on my other channel suck too, man. I need to take some time and brush up on these things, get them together. King David lost a son, lost his firstborn son, man, behind that same thing. Loving abroad. Taking some of his heart from God and giving it to a woman that wasn't even here, that sent that man to the front line and got him killed so he could take his old lady, man. You got to dedicate yourself to God, man. Forget what these other people are saying. If they ain't dedicating themselves to God, so what? That ain't nothing on you. That's something on them. Sad for them. So sorry for them that God don't see them having enough value. God don't trust them enough to give them no mission. Cool. Do your thing over there, brother. Fine. They ain't got nothing to do with us over here. What we doing, we trying to figure out the mission that God wants us to be on and stay on it. And the number one way to stay on it is what? And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy might. You know, I meet women all the time, man, and just listening to them, they believe they have this great value. Like they believe they are bringing something of value to your life. Really. When all she can do is be a helpmeet. If she's not a helpmeet, she has no value. You got men out here giving their heart to women who ain't even helpmeets. I mean, come on, brother. If you're going to give your heart to a woman, at least let it be a woman that's a helpmeet. You giving your heart to a woman that got her own agenda in life, man. What's wrong with you? We're blessed, brothers. We are blessed that we know this information. If God has led you to open up this word and read these laws and statutes and commandments, man, and give you the strength, the power, the wisdom, understanding, knowledge to apply them to your life, man, you are blessed beyond blessed, brother. You are living a phenomenal existence. Don't let anybody deprive you of that by telling you you need to be doing this or you need to be doing that. Or tell you need to be having some broad or you need to be loving a woman or tell you, oh, and the greatest thing, you hate women. No, I just love God. I don't hate women. I love God. I value women when they have value. I value other brothers when they have value. But the only value you can have in my life is supporting what I'm doing on this earth on behalf of the Most High. Otherwise, you're just a person out here. And you're probably getting in my way. 7-8 Juggernaut, appreciate the dime. People saying the Most High's crew fail to see that when you learn a tough lesson, that's his mercy, because he could have made that cost you everything. Instead, he's giving you opportunities to grow and learn. Exactly, brother. Exactly. And listen, there's nothing wrong with being hard-nosed, man. Like, that's what life is. Let me tell you something, man. We live in a world where now young children do whatever they want to do. So they grow into teenagers who are just wild. Generation Z is wild. You know why? Because discipline and punishment for not being disciplined has fled this society. I got my son tight real young, where if I say, stop, don't do that, he stops in his tracks. Why? Because that'll keep him from walking out in the street, chasing a ball, running down the street, about to get hit by a car. When I say stop, the next movement needs to be non-existent. Like a drill sergeant. He running. Hey, boy, stop right there. Could have been about to step on a snake. You're blessed if your father trains you that way. You're blessed if you have that type of discipline. If you have been led and raised with that type of correction, that type of instruction. Phil Nunn, appreciate the 5 bones, brother. AJ, appreciate the 5 bones. Salute, brother. Job. Man, Job was put to the test. And his old lady kept telling him, just go ahead and curse God so you can die. Go on, curse him. She wasn't telling him that because she was concerned about him. She was telling him that because he lost everything. She didn't have no value for him. She was tired of being there for him. She didn't want to be there for him no more. If he died, she can go marry somebody else who still had their money and stuff. So just go and curse God so you can die, man. Don't you see it's over? Let me be free, man. Know what Job said? Nah. Because everything I had, I got it because God's love for me. You understand? So now that it's gone, I got to show him my love for him. And eventually, after much struggle and strife, man, he got everything back 7-fold. I'm not saying you ain't going to be tested. Because just like learning your 1 rep max, you work out for a while, you know your 1 rep max, you work out for a little more while, you want to test it and see if you've gotten stronger. You know you've gotten stronger, you want to know how much stronger. If you add 2.5 to one side and 2.5 to another side, man, that's enough to take you from lifting 185 to lifting 190. That's enough to take you from 195 to 200. That's enough to take you from 395 to 400. You look at Samson. Gave a woman his heart. Look what happened to him. He gave a woman his heart. And look what happened to him. We know the story. Big Mo, salute. See, we know the story. All of these stories are proof that you can't be in love and be logical or spiritual at the same time. You can't function out of love, anger, sadness, and happiness and think you can be a godly man because humans control those emotions. If you let your heart be trapped into human interaction, if you let your emotions be caught up in emotional attachment, then before you know it, you're going to be functioning the way that these people around you want you to function. Have you ever seen a man with your own eyes from a distance be manipulated emotionally by a woman? It's a sad thing, brother. I saw it real young, man. I swore to myself I wasn't going to ever do it. Ever. So I ain't never been in love with no woman, man. I didn't never want to put myself in that situation where a woman's actions can affect me. Here's the thing. I'm not saying that a woman can't do something that will affect me. I'm saying a woman can't do something that affects me, and then I love her so much, I can't leave the broad alone. I'm human. As hard as I am, I'm still human. So I'm not saying a woman can't do something to make me say, man, but I'm going to kick her to the curb. I'm talking about that type of emotional attachment that makes you see a woman doing something, woman do dirt to you, and you can't even leave her. She pregnant, you find out the baby ain't yours, you still taking care of it. Why? Because you can't leave, because you gave the woman your heart, man. That's why you love the Lord with all your heart, man. Because you cannot afford to let humans have access to your heart, dog. You can't afford that, brothers. Nestor Pomar, appreciate I think that probably going to end up being 5 bones, man. I appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. Salute to you. You can't afford that, brothers. See, when a man is emotionally unstable and self-centered, he needs his woman to make decisions for him. That's how you get in a 50-50 relationship. That's how you get in a situation where you paying everything, but the woman helping you decide stuff. You about to buy the house yourself, the woman helping you decide what the house gonna be. You about to go buy a new whip, the woman helping you decide what the whip gonna be. Only reason you should ask a woman about a whip, man, just to get a female perspective on how fly it is. So your pull-up game will be on point. Only reason you should ask a woman, man, opinion about the crib you about to buy, man, or whatever, the condo, or whatever you about to move into, man, is so you can see the effect that the environment will have on the female energy, man. That's all. Emotional instability is a result of loving people, of giving people your heart, of letting people in your heart, of giving pieces of your heart to people. You can't do it, brothers. It makes no sense. You can't do it. It's a terrible thing to do, a terrible situation to put yourself in, man. It just doesn't make sense to do that. So don't do it. It's fruitless. It's useless. So don't put yourself in that situation, brothers. I'm trying to tell you, don't do it. See, the primary thing you have to understand is this. If you give a woman your heart, you become 50% female. You open yourself up to things that God doesn't want you. God does not want you to be any percentage female. God does not want you to be any percentage feminine. But if you give your heart to a woman, you're going to become partially what she wants you to become. You're going to start going along to get along. Why? Because your feelings are hurt if the woman don't feel good. When she's sad, you sad. When she mad, you mad. When she happy, you happy. I want you to understand the logic of happy life, happy wife. Happy life, happy life means sad wife, sad life. Means angry wife, angry life. It means that your life is based on your woman's emotions. You can't be a man of God under those circumstances. God don't want you under those circumstances, man. He might well get a real woman instead of get a man who have woman. What's the purpose in that? Fear Soul 85, appreciate the 2 bones, man. Let me tell you something. The reality of the scenario is this, brothers. Men function in a peace of mind space that's based on your connection with God. It puts you in a realm above the normal human interaction. So whereas these men feel bad if a woman leaves, these men feel bad if their friends don't want to be friends no more. These men feel bad if somebody don't like what they're doing, if somebody don't like what they're saying. These men feel bad. You don't feel bad when you're living in the realm with God, because your peace of mind elevates you above the emotional disarray. So everybody's being moved to chant and march and rally and doing all that, you focusing on the mission that God got for you. So that's why I don't ever talk about none of that stuff. People send it to me, they want me to talk about it, but why? I can't dig up any emotion and talk about that foolishness, because I understand the truth of our existence in this society. So all this stuff that y'all sad about, I can't be sad about it. I understand why it's taking place. All this stuff y'all mad about, I can't be mad about it. I understand why it's taking place. All this stuff y'all complaining about, I can't complain about it. I understand why it's taking place. It don't bother me one bit. Don't bother me. If one of my favorite cities in the United States say you can't come unless blah, 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 and if I ain't blah, 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 I just ain't going to that place no more. They don't kill me. They don't kill me. I'm going to be good. So no matter what you do in this life, man, no matter what you do, just remember this. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. There is none beside him. So there ain't him and somebody else and somebody else. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart and with all thy soul and with all thy might. I appreciate y'all being in the joint, brothers. Continue to go forward, man, and be blessed. And I'll catch y'all on the next joint.